What's up, old school homies? Let's talk about modern skateboard shapes. Now, the skateboard has somewhat evolved into being like the shark. Not necessary to involve a lot more design, and it has gone through a lot of changes over the years. You could see me riding on flat plastic skateboards. That's kind of where we started out. Little wood planks, stuff that was flat. And that's what you'll notice in older and older boards. The older they get, the more flat they get. It's a bit of a problem in a lot of different ways. And I'm going to bring up what some of the things do for you. Okay. Now in the 80s, the skateboard was shaped with a fat tail, a nose that didn't really go anywhere because the wheels were right behind it. Okay, the back wheels were like right here. So first off, your limitations with the 80s skateboards are you can't do any nollie tricks. Now nollie tricks look good. They're a big part of my arsenal. If I kept skating, they definitely would have gotten further and further along, because nollie tricks are sort of like a switch trick. It just shows people that you can do something different, you know? I don't need to kick the back of the board. I could do the same trick kicking the front of the board. But when your nose is only that big, you're not doing any nose slides, you're not doing any nose manuals, you're not doing much. Most of the boards that were shaped like this, if you looked at them from the side, they were shaped like that. Now, with the problem with that, it's hard to ollie with these boards. It's not like you can do it, but it's an acquired skill because your foot's just going to slick right off of the top. Okay, and then on modern skateboards, the edges curl up like a taco. What that does is get your shoes a little bit more contact with the board. Now when your foot's sliding up to the front on an ollie, you actually have some grip. Your toes actually touching the board the whole time. As where this, you gotta be pretty precise if you're just kicking a flat plank straight. And I noticed that kid that ate shit the other day at the skate park, he had a pretty flat board. He tried to kind of land on the nose. You know, he tried to land with his foot on the nose of it. It's not gonna work if the freaking board is flat up there. You know, if it curves up a little bit, hell, you might be able to stick your foot inside this little groove here. He fell right off the front of it. And that's what happens to me once in a while on those flat skateboards. You'll just slick right off the front of that thing, because it's not curved on the sides. Now let's talk about how the modern skateboard really helps you out here. It has a nose and a tail. Alright, in the 80s our wheels were a little bit smaller. They went from really big, and then in the 90s actually they got small. There was a small wheel period. I was a part of that. And I had the smallest wheels with the biggest trucks, and you could grind anything. And it's hard to roll over pebbles. That's the problem with that. The wheel dynamics, they're a personal preference, to be honest. I can skate big wheels and small wheels. But what we did was we made a tail that curved up on both the front and the back. But we also curved up the sides here. And how it's curved on these sides is kind of how you could tell a cheap board from an expensive board. Sometimes they're not so good at that, because there'll be like some spot right here. That's usually where you could tell, does it blend into being a nose gracefully or not? It takes a little dynamics to figure out, but the popsicle stick is here to stay, okay? It's been here for a long time, and it's due to the fact that your feet stick to it. And you could do tricks off the front of the board and the back of the board pretty much equally. Just letting you guys know, there's a lot of molding technology that went into curving the sides. This helps you with kickflips. Now trying to do a kickflip on a flat board, you don't have much going for you there, but if the board's already curved up and you kick at that, it'll spin faster. It's kind of like I feel bad for people that are picking up on 80s skateboards, because I rode 80s skateboards like this, like on my knees holding the top of it. So did Grant Taylor, so did a lot of great skaters. They just weren't very good at being able to translate to the street, Street skating, it's a lot harder. You need to make up a trick for the terrain. So having more options, it helps you.